Hey y'all, my name is Jamaica. I'm a mommy and teacher from Tennessee, and this is A Life with Miss Jamaica. But again, we are on summer break. Today we're going to talk all about why it's so important to have a behavior plan in your classroom. I started behavior plans in my classroom maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it has saved my life so much. It has stopped so much confusion in my classroom. Of course, I teach pre-K, but a behavior plan comes in handy in my pre-K classroom, so I know it will help your classroom also if you don't teach pre-K. Everything I'm going to be using today and talking about is on my TPT Life with Miss Jamaica. You can check it out. My behavior plan entire bundle is free right now because I just want you guys to make sure you have a behavior plan this summer to make sure that you are ready for the school year. I should start off saying why I think you should have a behavior plan in your room, and that is because one of the hardest things that you will do in your classroom, not teaching, not having fun, anything, is just working with your parents. Me, I love working with my parents. I love having parents in my classroom. Parents are what makes school so fun and engaging, but parents don't know what you expect in your classroom, like from your students, or if you want your parents to come and volunteer or come do things, or you have projects and things like that. If your parents don't know those things, then you've already opened a door to confusion, and that's never good. I love behavior plans because it lays out everything for my parents instantly. I give out the behavior plans at Meet the Teacher Night, read over them with the parents. There's an area for them to sign on there to make sure that I can document that I gave them the information, and then we're starting off our school year already on a perfect level of communication. So that is really the reason to have a behavior plan, is to go ahead and start that communication piece with your parents so that they know you want them involved in your classroom, that you look at them as family, and that you want to work with them. So that's the biggest point, in my opinion, in having a behavior plan, is just laying out communication with your parents, showing them your expectations, showing them what your kids will be doing every single day, and opening that level of communication instantly with your families so that they can become your family. To build your behavior plan, I have this checklist on my TPT, and this is what it looks like, and you can just check as you go with building your behavior plan. So first, let's look at the checklist. First off, with what is the expectations for the child? So what are your expectations for your child throughout the entire day? So I go into morning routine, whole group, lunch, recess, and dismissing school. Again, this lays it out so there's no confusion with your parents, no confusion with your students, and everyone knows what is expected. The reason why I lay it out so in particular is because if your students are having behaviors in the classroom, you're contacting that parent about it, and the parent's like, oh, you never told me that they have to do this, that, and the third. When they're walking in the hallway, you could be like, oh, yes, I did. It's in my behavior plan. So just already having everything laid out, the information already there, so that in case behaviors happen in your classroom, you've already covered it and your parents already know what the expectation is in your room. Then from there it goes into what are your behavior incentives in the classroom. So what are you going to be doing to praise your students in the classroom? Will you have a treasure box? Will you have a positive behavior store? Will you have ice cream on Fridays? Anything you're going to be doing in your classroom to give some positive feedback to your students in a material way or a non-material way. Then your class discipline plan, which is super, super important. For me, my discipline plan, I have strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3. My students know when they get to strike 3, they are out. But with me laying out every single strike, my parents will see how they progress from going to strike 1 to strike 2 to strike 3, so that it's no confusion again when I tell them that, whoop, I gotta call you today because we've gotten to strike 3. My parents know, like, oh my gosh, they went to strike 1 and strike 2 already. So again, laying out that communication, letting your families know that you want to be their family and you want to do what's best for their child. So make sure in your behavior plan you have an area on how you will be communicating this information to your families. Will you be using a Class Dojo app? Will you be calling them? Will it be letters in the folders? Anything that your parents need to look out for on how you will be displaying the information from like behaviors in your classroom. Also, something I love to have on every single behavior plan is for my parents to give me an advice on how to work with their child to my best ability, because we don't know that child, but that parent knows every single thing about that baby. So you definitely need to be communicating with the families to learn more about how to help their child to your best abilities and how you can teach them to your best abilities. So make sure you open a floor also for your parents to give you some communication and talk to you about their baby, because no one knows that child better than that parent. And then an area for them to sign the agreement of the behavior plan. So that is your behavior plan checklist for your classroom when you're building your behavior plan. Again, this is on my TPT store, but also I take it a step further than that. To help you guys even more, I have a behavior plan template on my TPT that you can just type into to build your behavior plan. But we're going to be looking at an example behavior plan, which is my behavior plan from last school year. Is my behavior plan from last school year. As you know, my classroom is a pastel rainbow theme, so I made sure to have my behavior plan a pastel rainbow also. What I'm going to do is read through kind of like how my behavior plan is laid out to give you some advice for building your behavior plan in your classroom. Of course, again, it starts off with what is our class expectations. I state that we have many transitions throughout the day. Here's what is expected from your child throughout these transitions. We will practice these skills with your child to ensure success. To show them that I'm not throwing them out to the wolves and just being like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. These expectations will be practiced in the classroom constantly to ensure that every child can be successful. For my morning routine, I have that your child will come in every morning, have their own cubby, and unpack their things. We'll eat breakfast in the classroom, and then students will move to their morning bins. Morning bins will help students have a soft start to the morning and have a little fun. Students will be expected to clean them and transition to the carpet after 15 minutes. Make sure your child is on time so that they will have time to play in their morning bins for the day. So that's laying out the morning routine instantly to my parent. They know my kids come in, they'll unpack their things, they eat their breakfast, they have a morning bin. They also know if we have a behavior because their kiddo did not have time to do a morning bin, that I did say, make sure they get to school on time if you want them to have time to do their morning bin. Just laying out exactly what's expected from your parents and your students. Whole group, I have that we will have 3 whole group instruction learning times. This is when we are on the carpet and engaging in a certain topic. Students will learn procedures to help them succeed on the carpet. For example, raising their hand, listening to others speak, and showing respect. Flexible sitting will be available to students who need it. Not everyone can sit crisscross, and I understand that. So making sure again that I am being relatable. There's no reason to show your parents that you know these big old words from getting a master's degree, because they're a person just like you. So talk to them just like you'll talk to anybody else. I understand that everybody cannot sit crisscross applesauce, so I will be providing those flexible seating options to those students that need them. Letting parents know that, again, I'm not just like pushing them out there, I'm here to help them. Then I go into the expectations for lunch, expectations for recess, and expectations for dismissing school. When dismissing schools, I tell them that they're expected to walk to their cars, not to run. So in case they see me get onto their child about running to the car, they know, oh, that's in the behavior plan. They're not supposed to run, they're supposed to use their walking feet. Then it goes into our classroom behavior incentives. This is all the fun things that your students are working towards in the classroom. So for my behavior incentives, let me know if you guys want me to go more into this. I do bucket fillers. So my students earn bucket fillers throughout the day. They cash in their bucket fillers on Friday, and that is a treasure they can get on Friday. So just depending on how many bucket fillers they've received that week is what cool treasure they can get from the treasure store. That is exactly what I lay out in the behavior plan right here, telling parents that just in case students get in the car and they're a little upset because they couldn't get something in specific from our positive behavior store, parents know, okay, you need to work a little bit harder next week to earn more bucket fillers so that you can purchase that item that you want from the positive behavior store. This again helps with communication. Your parents already know what is expected, so your parent isn't texting you like, hey, little Johnny got in the car, he's really upset because he couldn't get something from the positive behavior store, and I know he had a great week, so what's going on here? Your parent already knows, like, okay, you might have been short on the amount of bucket fills that you needed to get that item, so we'll just go in next week and work even harder in getting our item from the positive behavior store. And then in my classroom, I also do bucket filler calendars. I can show you one of those right now. Hold on one second. So this is my bucket filler calendar that are in my kids folders. This is from last school year, and I tell my parents every day they'll be able to check their students' calendar and see what color face they received for the day. So they know that the blue face is a great day, green face is a good day, orange face is a not so good day, and red face is just it was a hard one type of day. Parents also receive this communication every single day by checking their students' folders and seeing what color face they received for the day, which also tells them how their day was at school that day. Another behavior incentive I have in my classroom is my learning buddies. So my mascot in my room, I have to show you guys doing classroom setup, Leroy Lion. Leroy Lion is right above my smart board in my classroom. He watches the students all day long, and based off what Leroy tells me, he tells me if students earn a learning buddy or not. The learning buddies are some of Leroy's animal friends, and my students can earn them and learn with them on the carpet, just as they're showing Leroy that they are engaged, raising their hands, answering questions, all the things, and they earn a learning buddy they can keep all day long and cuddle with, and then at the end of the day they put the learning buddies back and try to earn another one the next day. Those are my 2 positive behavior incentives in my classroom, other than like earning like stickers and things like that. But those are 2 big things that students are trying to earn in the classroom every single day. My classroom discipline plan. So I said I believe that every child deserves multiple opportunities to be redirected with their behaviors in the classroom. So that's why most of my kids always go home with the blue phase. But you know, if you're a teacher that is like real hardcore and you're like, nope, strike 1, you're done, like, okay, I understand. But me, I give my kids multiple opportunities. They're only 4, so this is all brand new to them. So I just, you know, I'm trying to be a little nice. I'm just saying. Strike 1 for me would be a orange face in the folder. So it means students will have no bucket fillers, or they didn't earn bucket fillers that day because of their behavior, and that affects them in receiving items from our positive behavior store, of course. And then strike 2 would be a red face in the folder. And in addition to maybe losing bucket fillers, students will also be sent a note home about their day. This note will go into detail on how your child's day went in the classroom and what we will work on redirecting when we return to school. So if my kids go home with a red face, and my parents know this from my behavior plan, if they see a red stamp in the folder, they can also expect a note in the folder all about what happened that day and why they received a red face. But if they have a orange face, usually I'll just quick text the parents and be like, whoa, we had like a interesting day today, this happened and this happened, but it was not, you know, he didn't get this, the child did not get the strike 2. So just want to quickly tell you this so that we can do better tomorrow. But if they go home with a red face, a letter is going home in their folder. 3 is a red face in the folders and a phone call from me. I rarely ever get to strike 3 in my classroom because, again, I always give my kids a chance to redirect their behaviors. But this is when me and the student will talk to the parent at the same time together. Like, I'll call the parent during like playing time or at the end of the day or something, because I want that parent to be there. I want to be there with the student so that we can all talk together, because for a child to get the strike 3 in my classroom is a really big deal, and to get a red face, because that never happens. Again, I tell my parents in this behavior plan that we will both address how we can work together to overcome their negative behavior in the classroom. So again, to my parents, I need their help and I want their support while teaching their students, and I want their input every single day in the classroom, because I can never fully teach their child if I don't have a relationship with them also. And it goes into our classroom communication. So this is how we'll communicate all the information for the behaviors in the classroom. Last year I used Class Tag. This year I'm going to be using Class Dojo. So I have that on there. That's how they'll receive their text messages and everything like that. And I tell them that I love positive phone calls. So I love to just call them, talk about positive behaviors in the classroom. Them again to make sure they check their child's folder daily for important information and stay informed with the classroom. Comes in the bundle if you get it on TPT as a freebie. I love to send little happy mails to my parents for my students if they're doing something super good that day, and just write a quick little note about that child, and that makes a difference with the parent and the child. Like, the parents like, oh my gosh, you got a piece of happy mail, and the students like, I got a piece of happy mail. Like, even though they can't even read, the excitement of that is beautiful. So if you don't do happy mail or like positive phone calls, I definitely recommend that in your classroom. Lastly, for the behavior plan is this area where I want them to write any advice they have towards this behavior plan and how they think it will work with their child. So I want them to critique my behavior plan. I want them to let me know how they think it will work for their child, and also any advice they have if it will not work for their child. And then again, it has the signature area for the parent and the signature area for me, so that communication piece is done and we are ready to rock and roll for the school year. That is all about my behavior plan and how I use behavior plan in my classroom. I definitely recommend you having one in your classroom just to bridge the gap between parents and teachers, honestly. It's so easy for parents to go and just drop their child off at school, but when they have a teacher that wants them to be engaged and wants to talk to them and wants to communicate with them, it will make all of the difference. You will see less behaviors in your classroom. You will see more attentiveness in your your classroom, more engagement, and you will see the parents so willing to do things and help out in the room in every single way. Do not look at this as just being like a behavior plan, like, oh my gosh, I gotta address how I'm gonna work with negative behaviors. No. Think of it as I am bridging this gap between me and this family instantly, because I want us to be one big happy family. Rita Pearson said, no child learns from someone that they don't like. Also, no parent is going to help a teacher that they do not like. So having this behavior plan, laying things out, and instantly communicating with your parents will instantly build that relationship so you guys can both have a positive school year with one another. No teamwork means no work. This will open a door for all of those classroom things that you want to do. For example, last year I did carving pumpkins with my parents. They came in and they built gingerbread houses, which was so much fun. And then we also did our banana split party. So I had my parents in my classroom. I tried to every season. Obviously I missed one season. I don't know what I missed. But I try to have my parents in my classroom as much as possible because I want them engaged with their students learning. With me being a pre-K teacher, I'm the stepping stone for their child's experience in school. So I want to make sure that I'm a positive experience. Lay out all your expectations right now. Go ahead and build that communication piece. Go ahead and show your parents that you want to work as a team and build amazing relationships in your classroom. Create your behavior plan and stick to it. I'll let you guys know a few parent engagement opportunities you can bring to your classroom next school year. In August, you can have a back to school bash in your classroom. When my parents come for Meet the Teacher, one year I made the room look like a space like situation, and we're blasting off the pre-K, and I have little signs for my parents to take pictures with their kids. I had a space tent up. All these things make your classroom so much fun on Meet the Teacher night that they instantly feel welcome. September, you can have pancakes for grandparents. October, you can do pumpkin carving. I do pumpkin carving every single year with my families. They love it, I love it, and the students never forget it. November, you can have Thanksgiving lunch. December, the gingerbread houses. So much fun, so engaging. I can't wait to do gingerbread houses again this year. January, new year, new goals. At Meet the Teacher, I also always have my parents write a goal for their child. So in January, you can have your parents, maybe they can't come into the school and do it, but you can send something home for them to give their child a new goal for the school year. And they can come in. It'll be so fun to have the kids and the parents do a vision board for their child in January. February, you can do a secret admirer. Like the parents can be secret admirers for their students at school. That'd be so much fun. March, you can have your parents come in for readers in Read Across America Week. That I'm so excited. I want to do that next year so bad. I want to have secret readers come in. I want them to be my parents in my classroom. Don't tell the students that they're coming. Your child, that student will be so excited. April, you can do a book jam night. Your end of the year celebration, which is usually my split before we split banana split party. This video is all about building your behavior plan in your classroom, but as you see, it goes more into having positive parent engagement in your classroom. To have positive parent engagement, you have to make sure that your communication skills are super high with your families. You've laid out all your expectations for your families, and you're showing them that you want to be a team with them. Your behavior plan checklist, your behavior plan template you can type into, and Little Happy Mail is all in my TPT for free. You can go get it right now. But do not forget, be relatable in your behavior plan. They don't need to know that you know all these big old words from getting your master's degree. Be relatable and personal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will build a behavior plan and go ahead and start communicating, having a positive experience with your families this school year. The next video you see will be all about Meet the Teacher. So I'll go more into Meet the Teacher night, what I do, how my parents are engaged with it, and some ideas that you can bring into your classroom. If you have any video requests, let me know down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!